What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm literally gonna tell you guys everything that you're gonna need to create the best workout split when it comes to trying to grow, from the waist down. Because when I first started my fitness journey, I had no idea what I was doing, let alone what a workout split was. And I wish I had watched a video like this, because I'm gonna give you guys all the details in terms of how many days a week you should work out, what exercise you should be doing, how you should be constructing those exercises in terms of sequence, everything. Like, as much as I think you would need to know, I'm gonna try to cover that in under 10 minutes. And I talk a lot, so that's a big goal on my behalf. But anyways, first things first is you wanna make sure that you're planning your workout. And this goes beyond even if your goal is to grow your lower body. Like, whatever your goal may be when it comes to working out at the gym, like weightlifting especially, you want to track everything you do. So you want to kind of create a workout plan in your phone is the best way to go about it. Unless you want to get pen and paper and bring that book to the gym every single session, that works too. But I would recommend your phone because it's just easier in my opinion. You can use the notes part of your iPhone or Android. I don't know what you guys have. I don't have an Android, but I'm sure you guys have some type of notes section in your phone, and you want to jot down all the different workouts you're going to do. So day 1 you do this, day 2 you do that, and on each day you want to jot down each exercise you're going to do. And then you want to also write down the reps, the sets, and the weights that you do, so that you have a grand scheme and an idea of, okay, last week I did this week I did this, what can I do the following week to kind of increase the intensity. And we're going to talk about increased intensity, progressive overload in a little bit, so don't worry. Now you're probably thinking, okay, I plan it out, but what am I planning? Like, how many days a week should I work out? If you want to target your lower body, you want to make sure that you are doing at least 3 lower body exercises a week. So 3 days dedicated to just lower body and 1 day upper body, because we are not neglecting upper body. Like, we are targeting the upper body because if you really think about it, 1, you need your upper body to lift the weights when you do certain exercises. Like when you're doing Bulgarian split squats, reverse lunges, deadlifts like RDL, you have to hold the weight with what? So you want to make sure that you're targeting your upper body so that you build the strength up for that, right? Also, you guys are not going to look bulky. I know a lot of women think that, oh my god, I don't want to train my shoulders because I'm going to look like this and a linebacker. It takes so much for you guys' body to get to that point. And if you're only doing 1 shoulder exercise a week, you know how long it's going to take you to actually get to that point? A long ass time. So you can do your lateral raises, front raises, shoulder press, you can do all of that, and you will not look bulky, I promise you. Now when it comes to lower body, I would recommend you guys doing a glutes day, a quad and glutes day, and a hamstring and glutes. Now if you're someone who wants to target maybe like more your back or your arms, you can target that muscle on your glutes day, probably like put in 2 exercises, because obviously if you want to focus on a specific muscle, you have to do more than 1 or 2 exercise for that muscle group a week. You can switch up the workout days, okay, the days. So let's say day 1 you want to do hamstring and glutes, day 2 you want to do glutes, day 3 you do upper body, day 4 you do quads. You can switch that up. You don't have to do quads and glutes on day 1 and upper body on day 4 so you get the best result. It doesn't work that way. I would recommend though that you pick your hardest workout to do first day of your workout week. So obviously after working out, you're gonna kind of notice like which workouts are the hardest for you. If you think your quad and glutes is the hardest, make that your day 1 and then kind of trickle down to the easier workouts towards the end of the week, just because you want to get that over and done with first thing in the beginning of the week. You don't want to have your hardest workout at the end of the week, because let's say by the end of the week you're like, oh my god, I don't want to work out, I'm so tired, I'm exhausted, my body's going through it, but now I got to do this heavy ass quads and glutes. So trust me, you might want to do that at the beginning of the week. You also do want to plan your workouts in accordance to your recovery process, because in the beginning, I'm telling you, you're gonna be sore. Your body is literally going through a traumatic experience if you think about it with lifting weights. It's not used to this, so it slowly has to adapt to this new lifestyle. So for the first like week or 2, depending on your body, everyone's different, you're gonna be sore, and you never want to work out a sore muscle. So you want to make sure that you have some type of recovery day in between your leg days. And since you're doing leg days 3 times a week, you kind of have to really strategically plan where you have like a rest day, maybe your upper body day, and then another leg day, and then maybe 2 rest days and then another leg day. If that even makes sense with the math, maybe not, but you know what I mean? Like, you want to have recovery days in between so that you can actually have your muscles not be sore when you got to work them again. Now let's break down each workout, okay? So with your upper body, you want to target your biceps, your triceps, your shoulders, your chest, and your back. So literally one exercise per muscle group, and that's all you need. If you guys want to target more your back or more your arms, you can do a second exercise for your back, especially considering your back is a big muscle. You got the traps, you got the mid back, you got the lats. Target your back by doing 2 exercises instead of 1. Or your arms, you don't have to do 2 exercises because biceps is pretty simple. If you do like curls or hammer curls, that's all you really need for your biceps. But you guys don't need to do more than 5 exercises on each workout day. There's no need for you to do 7 exercises at the gym. And to be honest with you, if you can do 7 exercises on your leg day, you're not going hard enough. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, because let's be real, if you're doing 7 exercises on a leg day, you're not going to failure. You're not pushing to the full effort that you can. And if you were, then you would be given out by number 4, number 5 even. So let alone 6, 7, like what are we doing here? And then you want to incorporate your cardio, I would recommend at the end. So maybe like 15 to 20 minutes of whatever cardio machine you guys want to do and that you actually enjoy. Don't think I have to do the Stairmaster because I'm working my glutes. No. Okay, you can do the treadmill, you can do the Stairmaster if you like it, you can skip, you can do the bicycle, you can do elliptical, like whatever you enjoy doing, do it for 15-20 minutes. And I recommend doing it at the end of your workout, because when you do it in the beginning, I feel like I just exert a lot of energy, and then it kind of like puts me at a disadvantage when I have to do my lifts, because now I don't have as much energy to carry out through my lifts. So I like to do it at the end of my workouts. Sometimes I just walk out the gym, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm just like, girl, I'm done, like I don't want to be here. But I advise you guys to still do your cardio, especially if you want to keep, you know, a nice slim waist while growing your lower body. Now when it comes to your quads and glutes, your hamstring and glutes, and your glutes, since we're sticking to 5 exercises every day, you guys want to do heavy lifts first and then accessory work at the end, because for obvious reasons, your first lifts, you're gonna have the most energy, you're gonna have the most, like, you know, like you're gonna be ready to pump the weight a lot easier. Well, not easier, but you're gonna have more energy to actually lift the weight than you would at the end of your workout. So if you want to prioritize, for example, your squats or your hip thrusts or your RDLs, make sure you hit those at the beginning of your workout and go heavy with it. So compound lifts are basically lifts that you're working multiple muscles. So that's like your squats, right? Your squats, you work your quads, your hamstring, and your glutes. RDLs, you're working your hamstring and your glutes. Hip thrusts, contrary to what you may think, yes, your glutes are engaged, but you are working your quads, your hamstring, and your glutes. So those are compound exercises you want to target first. Maybe your first 2 exercises, 3, you want to have compound lifts, but then the last 2 exercises are definitely going to be accessory work, isolation, in the sense of like we're isolating the different parts of the glutes. So if you guys don't know, the glutes has the maximus, which actually has a lower part and an upper part. Some people think it's just the lower part, but it's not. And then you have the medius and minimus, which is like the top part of your glutes, and it kind of falls over the side, and you tend to feel more like by your side of your hips when working this muscle. Like when you do seated hip abductions, you probably feel your like hip area firing up, right? So if you're thinking like, okay, well then what would I do on my hamstring and glutes day? Like what's an example? So an example would be first exercise, hip thrust, second exercise can be RDLs, third exercise can be back extension or hamstring curls, and then you would do like your seated hip abductions, or you would do your cable kickback. One thing you do want to keep in mind, okay, is you want to be working out not in accordance just to your goals, but also to your body shape. So if you're someone who realizes, okay, I have a lifted butt at the bottom, I want to target more like have that nice shelf at the top, you know, make it more full at the top, you want to target your gluteus medius and minimus muscles. Now if you have hip dips, I'm gonna tell you right now, just love them, embrace them, because you can try to fill them out as much as possible, but based on your anatomy, some people it's just more pronounced than others, okay? So just love them as is. But if you do want to fill your butt a bit more, you want to target the gluteus medius and minimus. So this involves doing exercise movements that's lateral, okay? So when you're moving your legs away from your body, so think about like seated hip abductions, and you're doing like this, you're moving your legs away from your body. So I would highly recommend you guys to incorporate 2 exercises at the end of your workouts, because it is a small muscle. You don't need to max out and go super heavy and hang with that. You want to do more higher reps, and you can kind of go high in weight, but as I said, you're not going to max out and hit a PR with seated hip abductions. That's just crazy. So I would recommend between the 15 to 20 rep range. And then with your hip thrusts, your RDLs, your, what else do we have? Bulgarian split squats, reverse lunges, For those, you want to kind of aim between like 8 to 12 rep range, and then you could do 3 to 4 sets. Now with your other lifts, if you want to focus more, let's say on your hip thrust, you want to hit heavy with the hip thrust, you want to get your weights up with hip thrust, then you want to prioritize that lift and make sure you're not doing hip thrust just once a week. I would recommend doing it maybe twice a week or even 3 times a week. But obviously when you do it every single leg day, you don't want to max out and do a PR every single leg day. I would say maybe 2, you want to go really heavy, and then the other one, you want to go light but just up your reps. So instead of doing an 8 to 12 rep range for the super heavy lifts, you can do more like 15 to 20. You know, and trust me, you're still gonna feel a burn, because some of my clients, I have them do, and you're not gonna like it, but they do 5 sets of 20, and the burn they get is crazy, because you're doing 100 reps regardless of the weight being cut in half of what they actually could do, and they're getting the pump. And that's something that you guys also have to keep in mind when it comes to progressive overload. I know I'm kind of like a bit over the place, but I want to put this part in for sure. So I know a lot of people think, oh, progressive overload, up the weights. That's just one form of progressive overload. Progressive overload ultimately just means intensifying your workouts. So you can up your weights, you can switch up the tempo, you can increase your range of motion, you can increase your reps, you can increase your sets. So for example, when you do your hip thrust, right? You might do 2 seconds up at the top, hold it for a second, 2 seconds down, or even just 1 second down, 1 second up, 1 second down. Like, you're going super fast. But if you slow down the tempo, you're doing 3 seconds to go all the way up. You hold it 1, 2, and you go 3 seconds all the way down. You have your muscles under tension longer, and you're basically intensifying the workout for yourself. So you are gonna see results because you're switching things up and making it harder for you rather than just upping the weights. If you want to just up the weights, cool, you can do that. But if you feel like you're upping the weights and maybe your form is off, you're feeling in your lower back, then don't keep upping the weights. Just change up things, do more reps. Instead of 12, maybe aim for 15, maybe do pauses at the top, you know, go all the way to the top, hold it for 5 seconds, because that's the peak of tension with the hip thrust, and then go back down. So there's different ways you guys can intensify your exercise and your workouts without having to up the weight. So that's why we track everything in our phone, okay, or a notebook, so that we know what we can do to intensify it based on what we previously did or what we previously been doing, right? Hope that makes sense to you guys. Now, if you're following your workout plan for the next 2 to 3 months, after those 2 to 3 months, I would recommend for you guys to go into a deload week, which basically means just dropping the intensity all the way down so that you can give your body a break, because your body is going to need it. Because if you keep progressive overloading I don't know if that's a sentence to say, but if you keep increasing the intensity of your workouts every single week, your body is slowly gonna get tapped out, and you need to give it that break so that you can come back harder. So when I say a deload, I don't mean don't go to the gym, stay home, like, no, you still go to the gym, but maybe you're focusing more on range of motion, you're focusing on your form, you're even switching up your exercises. With myself and my clients, I like to kind of switch up the exercises so that it doesn't just feel redundant and boring, because it kind of can get that way when you do the exact same exercises every single week for months on end. And you can kind of test out and see like, okay, I actually really like Bulgarian split squats, which no one ever says, just be honest. Or I really liked RDLs, I like to see the hip abductions. I want to keep those for my next program that I do, but I want to add in this, I want to try this, I want to do this. And then you can start doing those new exercises, but with a lesser load in terms of volume and weight. So maybe instead of doing, for your B stands hip thrust, you want to try, instead of going with 100 pounds, you can go down to like 50 pounds, just so that you can kind of get the feel of the movement and make sure you're doing it properly, because form is more important than weight, okay? You want to make sure that your form is always A1 and top tier, rather than trying to up the weight. After your deload week, you want to go back into the heavy stuff. So all the new exercises that you want to incorporate, start slowly increasing the weight and start slowly seeing where you're at. Some is going to be easier to kind of know where you're at in terms of what you actually can do, because it might be similar to a previous exercise you did in your previous workout program. But for some, you might have to kind of test the waters and see where you're currently at, because you have not done anything kind of remotely close to that. And if you guys keep following that pattern of just sticking to the same program for 2 to 3 months for like a whole year, with the proper eating obviously, which I didn't mention in this video, but if you want to grow your lower body, you got to eat properly, and that's mainly protein, you will see results. Like, that's the main thing you have to do, is the proper workouts, a proper program, consistency, eating properly, and it's just gonna work out. It's like 1 + 1 = 2. It's really simple, but it's not simple when you're not too sure what exactly to do. So hopefully this video has given you guys some insight and help on what you need to do in order of creating the perfect workout plan to grow your lower body. And if you want to see more videos like this, or you have a question, or you're not too sure about something you want me to create a video on, let me know as well, because I want to create more videos of like how to, or just more like valuable content that will give you guys insight on things that you may not know. Because as I said, I wish I knew a lot of things I know now when I first started. It would have saved me so much time and I would have seen results a lot quicker, but it is what it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you guys haven't done so as yet, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.